Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me tonight. I am a Reiki Master Teacher in Usai Reiki. I also am a Reiki Master in Fire Reiki. I am a spiritual warrior. I am a High Priestess. I am a spiritual teacher, a walk-in soul. I'm a twin flame. 7 others, Bird Phoenix incarnate, an angelic incarnate, as well as a goddess incarnate. Very spiritually adept and evolved, many, many gifts. Chosen, the divine. I'm an empress as well. Okay, I'm kind of higher ranking than High Priestess actually. So today we're going to do some energy clearing work because I am also from a long lineage of doulas, midwives, medicine women. And we are going to clear your energies with some feathers. Okay, some tapping. We're going to do some tapping, glass tap. I have a lot of good things in store, okay? So today is 2/23. It's the day after the 222 portal, and I did a lot of readings for the collective today, for the divine feminines, divine masculines, as well as the spiritual collective. Not just the collective of twin flames, but the spiritual collective. So I'm on my hair, you guys. I couldn't wet my hair today because it's going to be like 30 degrees tonight where I'm at. I'm going to be doing lots of crystal tapping, glass tapping, cutting cords, ASMR, stuff like this. Okay. So the energies of the universe today, we're going to cut with my smoky amethyst cactus quartz. Some call it a spirit quartz. So we're going to pull out some astral sludge energies. We're going to be clearing lower vibrational entities, whether you call them astral parasites, spirit attachments, reptilians, energy vampires, archons, alpha draconians, alpha reptilians. I know I just said regular reptilians, but they kind of differ a little bit. I don't really want to go into this, but... And you know when you're being spiritually attacked, when you feel like your energy is scattered and it's like all over the place, I mean, like to where you're like, okay, and then you can't concentrate. So like what they do is they latch into your mental, they latch into your mindset, and they do this, these astral parasites, they do this through the astral realms, through the spiritual realms, to where they're called astral sludge and astral parasites. And some of them come from energy vampires, some of them come from reptilians, some of them come from archons, you know, archonic spiritual beings. I said spiritual attachments, right? Alpha draconians, and just these wicked-hearted, black-hearted, like bleak, disgusting, gray, voided like spirits that have no purpose. They have no godlight, okay? So like they're literally leeching into your energy, and you're just like, I can't concentrate. This is messing with my work. It's messing with my daily, like day-to-day tasks, the way I concentrate, the way that, you know, I perform, my performance. It's affecting my mental health. Like I feel like I have ADD, ADHD, anxiety, etc., etc. I'm feeling fatigued, lethargic, and it will start to go into your, like you have leaks in your aura you don't know about. So your aura is your energy around you, okay? It's like a huge bubble of energy. And also in your chakra points. So you have, you know, 9 chakras. You have the base, you have the Earth Star chakra underneath your feet, which is grounded to Mother Earth, connected to your, like under the soles of your feet, but like down to Mother Earth. You have the root base chakra, it's red, at the base of your spine. That governs your security, your stability, your interpersonal and romantic relationships, familial well, not really romantic, that's more heart chakra. And then anyways, you have your sacral chakra, and then that color is orange. The the Earth Star chakra is brown. The base root chakra at the base of your spine is red. They're supposed to spin clockwise. Your sacral chakra is going to be orange, and that's your womb space, your reproductive organs, you know, like where you create, your, you know, your creatrix, like. And then you got your solar plexus chakra, which is yellow, which is like right at your navel. And then you have your, you know, your heart chakra, which is green and pink, which that is your like relationships. Oh yeah, and then your solar plexus chakra is like your inner powerhouse, your self-esteem, how you regulate self-emotions, like, you know, self-worth, confidence, your accomplishments, personal accomplishments, like if you got your bachelor's degree, or, you know, whatever you do, if you have like a license for cosmetology, Then you have your third eye your throat chakra, which is blue. Then you have your third eye chakra, which is your pineal gland right here, and your crown chakra, to where like they both connect to your spirit guides and more spirituality. And then you have your soul star chakra, which is like up here. So like these astral parasites, they will go through your literal chakra centers in your aura and leaks in your aura, to where like if they're energy vampires, they were not born with a divine light, a source light, a God light, okay? So they're gonna be leeching into you, into your soul, chi life force energy, and sucking this emotion. Like, you're gonna find yourself carrying emotional baggage, emotional upset. They're going to get you frustrated. They're going to get you out of your calm, serenity element, your tranquil element, to where you're not going to be chill anymore, and you're just going to like combust like a bottle that's been shaken up after you've been walking with it, in your pack. Just say you're hiking. This is the example I can give you. And then all of a sudden, these lower vibrational astral sludge parasite energy vampire entities are just going to come up, and they're going to be like, okay, how can I make him or her upset? What can I do to frustrate them? What can I say? Some of them will have the BALLS to come to you like in your face and say things directly to you to make you like angry, lash out, rage. Some of them will literally be secretive and like come to you in third person and like do things or like say things to someone else in front of you, acting like it's meant for someone else, but it's really meant for you. There's like a term for that, and that's where they really get sneaky. I gotta open this window because the heat in here is so cold, to the point where you're just like, oh hell no, like I'm not gonna deal with this. Or you just get angry, and even if you get even the slightest bit of frustration or give them the slightest bit of energy or emotional reaction, those energy vampires, those astral sludge, lower vibrational parasites are going to be like, okay, and they're going to leech into you, and they're going to take it. Whatever emotion you give them, they're going to leech into that emotion through that energetic cord, and they're going to siphon your energy. It is not your job to feed the parasites, okay? It is not your job to feed the astral leeches. It is not your job to feed energy vampires, okay? That's not your problem. They were not born with a fucking godlight. They were not born to be divine. So what do? They suck the chi life force, and they take. And the worst ones are the ones born to alpha reptilians and alpha draconian starseeds, which are wicked. And then the worst ones are the ones that destiny swap you, and they get your birthright, and they interchange your divine destiny for their little poor, no offense to people in trailer parks, but like trailer trash, things that they were supposed to have. And then they leech off of your energy, and they intrude in your environment or your sacred space, and then they take what is not theirs. They literally feed off of your energy. And then they even, some of them, who are just really wicked, will go into the people that are supposed to love and trust you, that are supposed to, you're supposed to look to for comfort and love. And they'll turn those very people against you. And I've had many confirmations, okay? Not paranoia, you guys. Spiritual gifts are very real. I really don't want to hear the gaslighting in the comments. Oh, you need Jesus, you need God, and psychics are da-da-da-da-da. Okay, well, that's your opinion. Everybody has one. But I was born with gifts. I'm chosen, okay? To where no Abrahamic mother can knock me off my horse. To the point where, okay, I'm not going to sit here and take any gaslighting from anyone. Because astral parasites, energy vampires, they'll gaslight you. They'll make you feel like you're crazy. They'll make you feel like everything's your fault. They'll put their guilt on you. They'll put their character assassination from what they really are inside onto you, onto your person. Like, they'll paint you out to be the villain, okay? And they'll project that negative mindset, and they'll put these seeds in people who are easier inclined to get manipulated, or people who maybe they just, they know the truth, but instead of standing and standing up for the person getting bullied and targeted, they actually end up going with the flock, and they end up just not giving two fucks, and just like, there's a lot of people like that, okay, that they won't stand up for other people. They're worried about themselves. So I'm going to be taking out cords from negative energy sludge vampires, you guys. I'm going to be cutting them. I'm going to be doing rattles. I'm going to be doing all types of things to make these astral parasites go away. And I could feel them in my back today, to the point where like my energy feels so scattered. And even if you walk outside or take public transportation or you work, whether you take an Uber or you're around people or you even go to the mall or the grocery store, you know, or the market, to the point where like you will embody and pick up energies subconsciously of others. And a lot of it's wicked. Not a lot of people have wicked intentions, and I hate to say this, I'm not saying everyone does, but a lot of people these days, in my experience, they literally are wicked. They will do you dirty, they will dog you out, they'll go with the sheep, I got an energy vampire lodging into me right now all fucking day, trying to feed and take my energy, and there's 3 of them here, to the point where I'm just so fucking over this bullshit. To the point where like they'll give me the evil eye and that shit will hook into like a physical ailment to where like it'll hurt. So cancel, clear, delete. Okay, I'm gonna burn some sage because this also repels them, and they will, you know, you have to get your energy back, because energy vampires, I hate to say this shit and I don't like giving them credit at all, but these motherfuckers, like if you're chosen and you know about energy vampires, you need your energy and your goddess or god birthright and your own energy. So you could protect your energy, yes, but so you could be productive, so you need this energy. They have no right to feed off of it, and they will try so hard to make you emotionally upset, to make you frustrated, to take you and put you in your feelings so they could feed off of those very emotions, so they could just get any type of like energy, because they weren't born with the godlight. To the point where like they will twist everything against you, they will fucking block you, they will emotionally manipulate people against you, they'll manipulate you, they'll even go into your things and try to, like, it's like you, okay, you're at work and you're in the break room, right, and you're about to sit down and eat that sandwich you made or that your mom or girlfriend made for you or whatever, and you're like looking forward, you're so hungry, you open the fridge and your sandwich is gone, somebody takes it. It's like how it is living with vampires. And that's like your own chi life force energy. So the sandwich is really your energy. And what they do is they feed off of it. They take it, they eat the sandwich. Does this make sense? To where like that's one of the examples. And I have to do my back right now because I swear I just got the evil eye from one of them. And she is always acting like a landlord. She don't act like my mother. And I'm just really over it. To the point where I have to keep this burning because it's parasite spirits latched onto them. Like right now, she'll put the fucking TV on mute and she'll listen to me, and then she'll take this energy from me and she'll suck it for her chi life force energy, to where she just gets the energy, and it's so detrimental, it's so harmful, it's so fucking wicked, to the point where she'll feed my nasty negative energy vampire archonic alpha draconian nephew, and she will feed. Like, she'll literally have his back. He'd do wicked things to my kids and me and our things for years, to where they plotted on us. Okay, and this is a true story. And then he'll lock his animal in a cage all day. He'll go and hang out with his friends because he don't have a job. Okay, he sells all day. He pushes and he, you know. And she'll just allow this, she'll like manipulate him to the point where I'm just like, or enable his behavior, I mean, and then they'll manipulate each other against me, and then like I'll be the bad guy in their story, I'll be the villain, so everything will fall on my shoulders. Oh, did Serana go into the Matrix yet? Did Serana pay you yet? Oh, well, Serana has bad intentions, and just bullshit, you know, all day, just yap, whether it's in her text messages or going to her face and saying disgusting lies, like negative things about me, to the point where I'm done, you know what I'm saying? To the point where I'm done defending myself. If you want me to be the villain in the story, fuck it, I'll be the villain, as long as you just leave my ass alone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to fucking deal with you, I don't want to deal with your drama, I'm not going to give you an emotional reaction, I'm going to be like, whatever. This is my energy for me. It's not to feed them. I get really sassy sometimes, you guys. To the point where I can't even have peace. If you know about energy vampires, you cannot have peace. They will siphon your peace. They'll siphon your energy, to the point where like they will make you emotionally upset. Their energy, the presence of them, their wickedness inside harbor, the hatred that they harbor inside of them, their animosity, their rage. You feel all this, and then you're just like, God damn, like, you're so wicked. And then it's like, if you're spiritually inclined and awakened and adept, you'll be like, damn, like, this person has wicked intentions. You'll pick up on their thoughts, their emotions. You'll see what they do to your physical things every day. You'll see how they turn people against you, how they try to, like, manipulate things in your life and do all these things, to the point where you're just literally like, I'm not gonna fucking put up with this anymore. To the point where, like, some of you are gonna have to, like, take your tax returns, and you're gonna have to fucking literally buy a car and move into your car, or, like, move away to get away from detrimental people. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the message for the collective today is, do not let energy vampires siphon your energy. Do not let energy vampires get the best of you. You heard that? The knocking? So, like, do not let them try to get your energy and make you upset, to the point where my energy vampires, this one, she'll go in on me for every little thing. Every little fucking thing. She won't go on my nephew. She won't go on my sister for burning my face, okay, and only spending 5 months in jail, which that is not justice right there. That shit isn't an injustice. She needs to be in a psychiatric hospital locked the fuck up. That would be divine justice. And I know you guys fucking know, you feel my pain, because it was very wrong, okay, to the point where I'm about to fucking get a goddamn car. I'm about to move the fuck out of this bitch and live in my goddamn car in a second, because I can't deal with them anymore. Pounding on my door? For what? What did I fucking do? I'm minding my business. I'm doing a fucking video, and you want to come and mess up my peace? Nah, bro. And she was mad. She was mad because my twin flame's wife, which this sounds bad. I have a twin flame, okay? My twin flame, I was with him first, okay? And he was like my spiritual husband. Like, he literally is my twin flame, my divine masculine. He got stolen away from a dark witch. She called herself a druid, but she wasn't. She was a Satanist witch. And they were in on it too. They wanted him to be away from me and my kids so they could take our energy and then just, like, ruin my life and shit. And I was like, wow, like, this is you? Because they ruined our things. They took everything, to the point where I was on a fucking stairwell. To the point where now that's just like, okay, rent. And I'm like, you act like a landlord. She's like, I am the landlord. I'm like, nah, you're supposed to be my mother, but you're just money hungry or greedy. And then she'll let this one put messes all over his fucking, the bathroom. His dog, he won't even walk his dog, you guys. He don't even have a leash for him. To the point where, like, this dog has messed up my parents' house, to the point where, like, they lodged in, and they all literally went against me and my kids. But then when they were young, and their mom was in and out of psych wards taking pills, okay, and DCF was supposed to take them, and they're really supposed to be in foster care, to the point where when I got older, they were jealous of me, and then they tried to get DCF to take my kids. They tried to destiny reverse. They tried to destiny swap this woman for me, and they couldn't do it, and I'm still alive. And I beat the attacks, okay? I beat the burns on my skin. I beat a lot, to where I'm more than a survivor. I'm a spiritual warrior, baby. So at this point, the divine collective is now, because she's on me like white on rice. She don't have a fucking life. She needs my motherfucking energy, to the point where, like, their whole life was built to take me and my kids' energy and to ruin my life, to the point where my life's not ruined. I'm being given a second chance. Being held accountable for things I didn't even do. You know, binding me and my twin flame's love story, and wishing that I would be, you know, without him, and then preying off of my energy, and then they were calling the system on me. They were going down to my kids' schools and bad-mouthing me. They were going to neighbors, bad-mouthing me. This is not a good situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not love. That is someone who's going to be your enemy, bro. I know enemies who don't even fight that as dirty as these people. So we're going to do a reading, because this is in my energy, and I'm not going to give her my, I'm not going to let her suck my, you know, me emotionally upset. What she wants is she wants money. Okay, to the point where, like, this is my dad's house, and my dad would want me and my kids to be together in his house. He wouldn't want this. I know. My dad would have not wanted this. She knows it. They all know it. To where my nephews should have been taken away by the state. Matthew should have been held accountable. He should have fucking went to, they should have taken him to court and put him on child support, or had Cody and Christian move with their daddy. But instead, they wanted to fucking flip that shit on me and my adult life, and I'm not taking shit like that no more. And my kids are good now, but at this point, you're just like, wow, like, your family did this to me? Yes, they did this shit to me and my kids. They were the ones doing it. They took away my blessings. Okay, so this is for the collective. You're about to literally come into your blessings that energy vampires, astral intruders took. They took away your divine love life, your union. They took away, and she's sitting there eating. I don't understand why she can't just use the TV in her room and go away from me and give me privacy. Because if she's not right there, it's her. If it's not her, it's him. If it's not one of them, it's two of them. If it's not two of them, it's one of them. And they tag team me in energy. Okay? To the point where I'm going to speak out about this. Okay? I'm not going to fucking shut my mouth and be abused anymore. I'm not going to fucking do that. To where I had to protect my energy. And I had to protect my kids against this one. Because he put a hammer on my son's onesie. And then he put a bunch of shit in his noodles. Like hot sauce. He burned my son's mouth. He took a needle when I tried to have my own mother babysit. And I came back, his diaper was full, his teether was cut up with a needle, and then he took some formaldehyde or chemicals and poop and mixed together and put it in my things and my son's things in the master suite, to where my son started hyperventilating, turned bright pink, wouldn't open his eyes, and I had to rush him with the SUV that she gave to me to the emergency room, and all she was worried about was catching her flight to California. Me and my kids, we were attacked, and I'm going to keep fucking speaking out about this because this is my story, and it's not okay. So the collective, you're about to be handed a huge pinnacle of abundance and money. I'm going to keep speaking out about my story, you guys. I'm not going to shut the fuck up. Because he tried to betray me, and he tried to do black magic on me, because his father is very dark, and his brother is also a witch, and they have Satan and freaking all these ties to dark witchery, to the point where he was trying to shut down my throat chakra. He did black magic on me. His fucking brother came up and did me dirty and lied and swore under oath with my mother that I was crazy and my spiritual gifts were crazy, and then they tried to put me in the hospital when my sister, my mom's other daughter, and their mom has a schizophrenic diagnosis. She gets checks every month for being schizophrenic and basically histrionic, and then she lies to everybody and uses that as a crutch, and then says that she's bipolar, she's not schizophrenic, and that she's borderline. She ain't borderline and bipolar. She's schizophrenic and histrionic. If you don't know what this is, read about it. Histrionic personality disorder and schizophrenia. That's what she is. So betrayal trauma. You see this card? This is like someone's doing you dirty. They're dogging you out. They're playing in your face. This is what I'm talking about. And they did this to take away your blessings of money and love and your divine birthright, your God, goddess birthright, your divine blessings. They were playing in your face. Look at this. You're getting justice now. It's coming through. Divine justice is coming through. A lot of you guys, this was from attacks from family members. This could have been from a generational curse, to the point where hate just ran in your family. Maybe alcoholism, ran in your family. That shit spread, and you were the chosen one from the divine, okay? From source, from universe, from the gods and goddesses. You were the chosen one to go through all this shit, so you knew. The divine didn't crack you open and make you suffer just to make you suffer. There's a reason. There's a greater reason behind this divine plan for your life that he has over your life, to the point where he's going to put justice now for you after years and years of sadness, years of them having you locked up, whether it was a mental prison or tied to them energetically, whether there were energetic vultures, energy vampires, or whatever the fuck they tried to do. Look what you are coming into this now. This is confirmation. You're going to get back everything that they took from you, that they stole, that they wished against you. Everything that you lost, you're about to get it back. They were arrogant about this shit. They were haughty. H-A-U-G-H-T-Y. Look at this. They were sitting on their cups. They were prideful about this. They were like, When you lost everything, they fed off of this. And they felt happiness and satisfaction. That's disgusting. That's not a high vibrational person. That's not divine. That's not of God. This is wickedness. Snake energy. to the point where they literally were leeching. It was like sadomasochism. They were like happy that you lost everything. They were happy when your relationship blew up. They were happy when you had to go to the hospital and get an operation. They were happy when you went to the psych ward, and that they were fucking cutting cake at home and having cake and shit. Look at this. They thought they were slick. The divine came in and was like, you done put these divine chosen ones, my spiritual soldiers, my warriors, you done did this too long. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this right now. And literally. He did. He cut it quick. He cut their plots and plans. Everything that they made you out to be behind your back, it was wrongful character assassination, name defamation. They narcissistically triangulated you. They motherfucking plotted on your name. They knew that they were hate bonding over you. They knew that they had destiny swapped your destiny for somebody else who didn't fucking deserve it, who wasn't in their divine goddess birthright or divine god birthright. They knew what they were doing. That I don't want to hear it from people like there's healers. Oh, they don't know what they're doing. They know. And they literally stole. It was spiritual theft and energy harvesting, and they stole your divine birthright of your blessings and your love life, your money, and the divine put his hand on it. And he even sent archangels down to you and was like, I'm gonna cut this shit because you've been going through years of pain and suffering, and they cannot get away with this. They're trying to play God. They're trying to play in your face. Look, they try to have you depressed. They try to have you trapped with them. They try to have you in bed. They try to have you on your ass from a health ailment. They try to have you literally tied to them. A lot of them did magic on you. Yes, and then they try to sit there and play like they're Christian and they're hypocrites, and they really did magic on you, you guys. It's fucked up. They did more than manipulation. They knew spellcasters. They knew spiritualists. They had spell jars on you. They have voodoo dolls, puppets. They have fucking all this shit on you. They had graveyard dirt. They put death spells on you. They tried to have you dead in the ground. Some of them had you homeless. Now, I want to show you what the divine does. And the Bible speaks against this. Why? Because we're truth tellers. You got to come into your blessings. All of your emotional abuse that they did to you, you're about to get compensated from all that emotional abuse to your money. You're going to come. The divine, what he's doing is now he's taking all of your devastation and your losses that they took from you. You're upset, whether they spiritually attacked you or they attacked you in your physical vessel, or however they attacked you, they leaked through your aura, or whatever they planned for you. He literally is twisting this, and he's compensating you now. He's going to compensate you back in love. Everything they stole from you and wished against you in love, you're going to get it back. Everything in your money, you're going to get it back. Everything. Look at this. See? This is for the spiritual collective. The cards don't lie. I told you. To the point where you got your King of Cups coming in now. Your King of Cups, this is a person that's going to, this is your King of Cups. They're going to provide emotional support, financial stability, give you that soft life. They're going to be there for you and be your trust, love, and comfort. Look. Whether it's a divine partnership returning or somebody new coming in. And they're going to help you up. They're going to be like, and you're going to be like, really? And they're going to be divine and genuine. They're going to be very genuine. Yep. Look, his pockets are going to be deep. He's going to be paying dates, courting you, chivalry. This is such a sweet card going after with him. So they're going to be stable. They're going to be secure. They're going to give you a good life. They're going to take care of you. Because they want to, out of the kindness of their hearts. It's not any type of blackmail or manipulation relationship. You're not going to have to do anything. You're not going to have to prove your worth. You're not going to have to over-explain yourself. This is going to be a genuine connection. Look at this, you guys. Cups, emotions, love, a divine masculine coming in, whether it's a soulmate or your twin flame, or your real twin flame coming in after a false twin. His pockets are going to be, he's going to wine and dine you. He's going to pay for things. He's going to make you have a soft life. It's everything you deserve. You deserve this. After everything they took and stole, that wasn't theirs to take and stole. They were playing God, you guys. They were wicked. They had black hearts. They set you up to the point where now you're coming into your season of blessings, and it's going to start this year. It's going to start this season. Pisces season is starting now. To where it's moving fast. This is amazing. Moving very fast, and you're They're going to be in regret. They're going to look at the world that they fucking built for you, and their whole world's going to come crashing down. And it's going to be fast, because this is wands, and they're going to be like, fuck. The divine is twisting this. He's turning the tables on them. Everything that they planned for you, that they had try to manipulate against you, everything they took from you, everything they did, that they emotionally wrecked you. Maybe some of it was physical, like you were in the hospital, you had to get operations. Some of you, you know, you lost your job. Some of you, they were blocking your blessings. They were blessing blockers. They were blocking you from getting your divine career. Maybe they, you know, like the wicked ones, they'll take everything and they'll fucking make you drop down to your knees and be homeless, to where they'll take everything from you. They will be like vultures. They will, and then they'll ask you to pay them. They'll have the nerve. Like, oh, you want to take this car? Oh, but you gave me this car. Oh, well, I'm giving it to her now, and you need gas money to take my car. So then they block you, so you can't get that job interview. You can't go to the job interview. You can't get that job. Look, they had you in this energy, like, to where they thought that they had everyone, that they thought that they had you fooled, excuse me. To the point where they had everybody blindfolded to the truth of you, who you were, excuse me. It's just sad, you guys. This is just, it's so heavy. It's so snake, disgusting energy, you guys. To the point where, like, they literally put a villain narrative on your name and your reputation, to the point where they ruined your reputation with rumors, slander, gossip, lies, wickedness. And then they hid behind Abrahamic religion. They hid really good. The King of Wands, as well as, yeah, they're in their feelings now, because the divine's turning it, and he's turning it fast. To the point where now they're regretting what the fuck they did to you, or they're about to regret it. They're about to come into their season of injustices. The divine is going to give you justice. Flip this and give them injustice, and everything they planted and prayed for you and wanted against you and harmed you with is going to go back into them. And their health, their love life is going to get affected. Everything that they wanted for you, the divine is, he's preparing a table for them. And some of them are not going to make it. Some of them are going to cross over to the veil, if you know what I mean. La muerte, okay? Muerte, muerte. To the point where the divine is going to show these motherfuckers in the afterlife, and he's going to be like, you didn't believe her or him. They were the light, the truth. This was my spiritual warrior. This was my person that was gifted, that literally I chose for this divine path, and you went against them, and you made their life hell, and you created obstacles and problems, and you were, whether you were in denial or not, and you were playing on that side, and you were wicked, and then you hid behind me, and you prayed against them, and you lied, and you said you were praying for her, but she was homeless in the streets, and her kids were away from her, and she was a nurturing mother. She didn't do drugs, and you damn well knew what the hell you did. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be like, I'm sorry, oh my God, I'm sorry. And they're going to have to answer to the divine. They're going to have to answer to the divine, to the point where the divine is not going to have mercy on them the way they didn't have mercy on you. The way that they didn't have mercy on the people that they were attacking. He's going to be like, no, because you created obstacles in her health, in his health, in their love life. You wanted this person to be alienated. You wanted all their blessings to be blocked. You wanted to switch this blessing with that blessing and interchangeable with this person because you favored that person. And the whole time you were talking shit about this one, and you plotted and you planned, and I sat there and I watched you, because I watched you do it. And I was like, I'm going to wait for her or him to stop. Oh, but they didn't want to stop you. And then you kicked her when she was down, or him when he was down. And, you know, when him or her was in a vulnerable position, and you kept attacking. You kept coming for this person. You knocked them down to their knees. You knocked them down to where, like, you took everything away from them with your manipulation and your black magic and all this bull and all this, you know. And then you knew how to lie. You knew how to hide behind a mask. You knew how to play innocent and play the victim, to where they were the villain, and you put all this nasty negative energy on their aura and their name, to the point where they were fighting so hard to just fucking breathe, and you had your foot on them because you were in this position that I gave you, and you couldn't even listen, and you literally let it go through one ear and out the other, and you literally played yourself, because I tested you too, and you didn't pass the test because that was my chosen one. And I had this person go through all of this so this person could have a glow up and have a soul awakening, to the point where it was, you were never supposed to play God, and you were never supposed to play my role, and you know, you were never supposed to do all this to this person. You were supposed to literally help this person get an apartment. If you saw this person get abused and these kids abused, you were never supposed to, you weren't, that was not allowed. You were trying to play God. You were trying to play me, and I'm the God. And I saw how you didn't have mercy on this person. I saw how you kept attacking them. I saw how you kept holding them in a state of disadvantage, and how you kept taking advantage of them and feeding off their energy and trying to wish them harm. And just, he sees everything, okay? The divine, he sees it, and he'll watch you and he'll test you to the point where he will literally be like, okay, they have free will, but they're not stopping. So now I have to stop them. And everything they wish for that person, I'm going to put it on them. So they learn a lesson, because they're not going to stop. Okay? And then the people who do this, they have the nerve to say, oh, it's the devil. No, it's no devil. It's the wickedness in the heart of the people. It's people. It's not a devil. Look, they were playing in your face with your coins. Some of them took your inheritance money. Look at this. Some of them took, look, this is coins. Bro, I can't lie about this. The Four of Pentacles. Look, and see how he's twisting the pentacle? So he twisted your divine destiny birthright. He destiny swapped your pentacles. They took your money. They took, okay, there's money that is owed to you that these people took from you. Look at this. Look what they did to you. They literally fucking took your money. It was like divine birthright money. It was like from a whale or some shit. It was something that you were supposed to get after somebody died and they left it to them, but they maybe didn't actually have like a formal will, but they wanted the person that was in charge, that was the heir of it or whatever, to distribute money to you, but this person sat on your money, bro. You see this shit? Look, the cards don't lie. But in the Bible, it says that we're, it says all this shit about us, but we're awakened, okay? And it's not the devil, which the Christians don't even understand that Satan and Lucifer were brothers, and that's not one, they're not the same entity, okay? And Lucifer is a light bearer. He's the morning star, okay? He is not, he was God's favorite angel. He was in the seraphim rank over the archangel rank, over Archangel Michael and Raphael. No offense to them. Lucifer was a very... he was, if you really research Lucifer, this is what Lucifer did, okay? He's not the devil. He was God's son, and he was the favorite one. He had the most talents of all the angels in the heavens, whether it was the cherubim, the archangels, or the seraphim angels, which they have traits of archangels, but they're higher rank, and they're musical angels, and they're truth tellers, and they're light angels. They have light. And Lucifer went to his dad one day and was like, Father God, you're a God. I have talents and powers, and he does. He was like, why can't I be revered for my abilities? And then that's when his father got mad and was like, I'm a jealous God, and then he slammed his rod and his staff, and then he made his own son fall to the point where like he burned his wings off, and then whoever listened to that got burned too, and they fell into this like horrible pit to the point where now Lucifer has come up, and he's like, no, I'm God's son. I have my talents, abilities, and my powers, and I'm going to help mortals who get attacked, who are chosen ones, who are expected to lay down, to have these evil reptilians or these wicked snares and these spirits try to control them and make them go into the matrix and make them dim their light or shut down, dim their throat chakra to where they don't speak their truth. You feel the strength in me, okay? Because I'm God's chosen one. I'm literally a spiritual warrior to the point where I've survived living on a stairwell, getting burned on my skin, getting sexually abused. I've survived so many attacks to the point where like I can't shut the fuck up, okay? I'm a divine feminine, okay? And I don't care who says, oh, she's crazy, because I know that I'm not, and I know I went through too much hell and high water many times to get here and to tell you guys, okay? To the point where when all the Christians attacked me, who came to me and helped me up? Who did? Okay, the fallen angels, who were part of God's kingdom at one point. Lilith and Lucifer, they helped me. And this is why I'm alive. If they never came to me, I literally would have probably died. They took me out the pit. They're not the devil. My head never spun around. I never was possessed. Lucifer was like, I'm your father, okay? I know your real father sexually abused you. I know your mother didn't believe you. I know that all this shit happened in your family, but I'm not gonna let you fucking die. I'm not gonna leave you in these streets. I'm gonna fucking take you, and you're gonna be a warrior spirit, and you're literally gonna go and walk. You're gonna have burns on your feet, but you're gonna walk through these burns. You're gonna bandage your feet. You're gonna walk, and and I literally walked from the hospital with burns on my damn feet, just like how Jesus walked on water, right? And I literally am a mystic, a healer, and I'm a goddess incarnate, and I was chosen for this shit, okay, you guys? So, like, if I could fucking survive it, you guys can survive yours too, okay? And then Lilith, she came, and she strengthened my self-esteem. She strengthened my self-worth after all the attacks, and she was like, no, you're a goddess incarnate. I am not going to let you be a little bitch and lay down in the bed. You are going to get up. You're going to speak your truth. You're going to protect your kids. And you're going to do what you need to do to be a warrior priestess spirit. You're going to kick ass. You're badass. And like, this is what they do. These are ancient gods. Okay. They were part of the heavens. They have powers, and they are here to teach you how to not fold, how to not shut down, how to stand up for yourself, how to get your power back when society judges you and makes you feel like shit about something that is inside of them, okay? To the point where they want you to dim your light, and they want you to work for them, and they want to send you into the matrix to where you are just asleep and you go with the rest of the sheep, and you're not your own person, you don't use your own talents, powers, and gifts, to the point where you're like asleep every day and you're like a zombie. Okay, so where the ancient gods and goddesses they're not going to come and possess your child. They're not going to make you, like the Exorcist movie, this is fake. They're not going to make you throw up, vomit. They're not going to make your head spin. No, the ancient gods and goddesses, they're going to get you up every day, and they're going to make you kick ass as a mortal. They're going to be like, no, I'm not going to let you do this, do this, do this. This is what you're going to do. And they're going to empower you. They're going to make you stand up, speak your truth, shed your light, come back into your power, call your power back to you, not fold for anyone, not play small for anyone. They're not going to let you be abused, okay? Your life is going to kind of seem like it's falling apart, but that's just them helping you after all the conflict attacks. You see this? I cannot lie. These cards don't lie. People attacked you guys. They attacked me, okay? Whether they were Abrahamics, Christians, whatever the fuck walk of life they were from, you got attacked. And they try to run you out your house. They try to run you out of your marriage, your relationship. They try to manipulate your soulmate against you. They try to manipulate every single person in your circle against you, to the point where you were broken down, down, down. And they made you lose things in every aspect, every avenue of your life, to the point where they preyed on your relationship. They preyed against your relationship. They manipulated your divine partner against you, to the point where some of your divine partners took off. They abandoned you, and you were made to look like you were the one that ran them off. But you weren't. They tried to put all of this betrayal trauma and this pain onto you because they were hurt and they were in pain. And it was something from their childhood or something from their caregivers that was messing with them inside, that was eating them up. And they put all that guilt and that negativity and all this just trauma on you. And that wasn't your burden to carry, you guys. It was not your energy. See this? You're about to get it all back that they took. They did. Look, this is the card of abandonment. And I just said this is confirmation from the divine himself. The Eight of Cups. To where somebody that you loved deeply, you know the scar of their absence. You know how it felt, to where soul fragments were flying out of your soul and your spirit, to where like you were cracked open and you had to go and you had to trek through the hells and the darkness, to the point where you were like, okay, I'm dead inside. Like, it's over for me. To the point where, like, some of you were homeless. Some of you were, some of you could be homeless. Some of you could be, they robbed you out of your divine birthright. It's wrong. They caused injustices for you. They took money from you. They manipulated people against you that you were supposed to find comfort, love, and trust in. They manipulated, like, fucking people on the street against you, like your neighbors. They did a lot of shit to you. Look, the moon. You see this card and all the cups? Okay, so, like, they did magic behind the scenes, to the point where whether they said a prayer or maybe they were manipulating you and using power of the tongue and speaking against your name or wishing you harm out loud, or even in their minds thought form magic, or even moon magic. Some of them pay people to do this. Now, I understand if you have to pay people to protect yourself. I understand if you have to pay people to put a protection around you when you get attacked. But when people pay people to attack you, the divine is going to come in and he's going to be like, oh no. And he's going to fucking make the attacks that you meant for them, again, he's going to play them against you to the point where he turns the tables. And they were lurking. Look at this, the Page of Cups. This could have been a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. Cups is water in the tarot. They were literally playing in your energy, feeding off of your energy, of your... Ooh, they got it so twisted. You guys. They were feeling so shitty inside, so miserable, that they wished you against your life in every avenue. Love, health. They wished your partner to leave you. Then when they saw that all this stuff happened, that they thought that they were succeeding and they were happy, and they were like sadists. They were like masochists, to where like they were satisfied and happy that you were in fucking pain. Who does that? Somebody who, something's really wrong with you if you're gonna literally find pleasure in someone else's suffering and pain. Something's wrong with you. You know what I mean? To the point where, like, if you're gonna be satisfied and you're gonna attack somebody and you're gonna take advantage of their state of vulnerability and you're gonna wish them harm and then play in their face like you were praying for them, but you were really rooting against them, and you set them up with many people behind their back, and you did some damaging things to them psychologically, to their things, to their kids, to their animals, whatever. Dude, they were watching you. They were preying off this energy, and the divine is like, they were a fool. And they took risks against you to where you were like floored. You lost everything, to now where like you're calling your divinity and your divine birthright back to you, and this is your divine birthright, to the point where you're coming into your cups. And I keep getting these cards all day, and they try to cause delays for you, burdens for you, heartache for you. See, they took your love away. And the divine was watching this. The divine sees everything, and he was like, okay, no, she's gonna stop. She's gonna stop playing her energy, right? Because she claims to pray to me, and she claims she's a Christian, and da-da-da-da-da. And then he was like, okay, well, she already manipulated this group and this person and that group against her. She already got all this stuff to happen to this person, and she's still doing it. To the point where the divine knows your heart. He knows your intentions. And now look. Look at this. The Hanged Man, to where like the divine was like, he had to stop this, and he had to literally stop because there was lots of forward motion of black magic spells against you they were doing. And now look, I said this in my readings earlier, and now I actually pulled this card to where like he's had to stop them fully. Ooh, it just becomes her. It just becomes them, to the point where muerte. See? He killed off the black magic off of you. He turned the tables on them. And he's claiming their souls now. To the point where, like, some of them, this year, you're going to be burying people. And then they're in the afterlife, when they get judged, and that judgment day comes, the divine's going to show them. He's not even going to tell them. You know how it's like a reel, like a picture, like REEL? It's like, you know, you sit in front of, like, what are those called? Like those projection boards, and it's like they play like a reel, like of a movie. The divine is going to show the movie, and he's going to show the truth of life, and he's going to show them. And then they're going to be like, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm sorry. And he's going to be like, wait, did you have mercy on this person? No, but I saw you keep attacking this person, and that was my spiritual soldier. Yes, you are going to be sorry. And then that's going to be up to the divine and what he does to them. Some of it's not going to be pretty in the afterlife. Some of them are not going to have good next lives. Some of them are going to have to pay karmic debt in a series of their 10 or next 100 lives, depending on how bad they did you. And they're going to answer to the divine, you guys. They're going to answer to him. Judgment Day does not miss anybody. So that was the reading tonight of the collective. It's just sad when, you know, it'd be like the people in your circle, whether it's your coworkers, your family, and they'll just be so miserable inside, or they'll just be hurting from a past trauma, and they won't know how to heal. And then they'll prey off of you, or they'll take what's yours that's not for them to take. They'll play God, and then they'll have your whole life fucked up, and they'll have you look like the crazy one, and they'll have you constricted down to your knees, to the point where, like, they think that, like, they could play God and then just play, you know, in your face, to the point where, like, okay, but he really sees everything, you guys. He sees your heart. He sees your intentions. He sees you fighting tooth and nail. He sees the pain that you go through. He sees what others do to you, to the point where he's not going to have mercy on them, just like they didn't have mercy on you, until they stop. And if they don't stop it, he's going to put his hand on it and say, no, you're going to stop. That's my divine feminine, or my divine masculine, or my divine soldier, my warrior priestess that you're messing with. You're not going to with them anymore. They went through enough. You done already took them down to their knees. You restricted them. You freaking wished them all this harm. And you got what you wanted. You preyed off their energy. You were happy, satisfied when you saw them lose everything. And you still want to do this to them? No. He put his hand on it. What he giveth, well, he will also taketh away. I'm going to do some energy clearing. This is selenite. To the point where a lot of them played in your coins. They played in your love life. They masked their identity. They switched off your identity to someone else's identity, destiny swapping. They harbored your energy. They harbored ill will, animosity, hatred, jealousy, secret competition. They came up against you greatly in this life. The divine now, he put his hand on it. He didn't just put his hand on it. He put his rod on it. He put his staff on it. He put the crown back on you. You are getting your blessings back to you. And it's going to be in different forms. You're going to get blessed in your money again. You're going to get blessed in your love life again. You're going to get blessed because he tested you and he tested them. And he watched it. He watched everyone coming up against you. He watched the plots and the plans. He watched what they did to you. He watched you fucking on the stairwell. He watched you in your car. He watched you in the shelter. He had your back the whole fucking time. The whole time he was watching them do this to you. And he was like, no. Because, you know, humans have free will. I gave this to them. No, this person who claims that they're my child, who prays in church every day, no, she's going to stop. She's not going to do this anymore. And then she didn't stop, or he didn't stop. And dude, they had masses of people turned on you, bro. They had fucking people in your family, people in your in your circle, in your work circle, you know, switching off your destiny and like the way you appear. They're projecting this villain thing onto you, to the point where, like, it was like some of you even got so angry and got on your emotions that, and I hate to say this, but you were wrongfully accused of things. Some of you may have to do time in jail. Some of you may have got wrongfully arrested. And it was really their sin and their persecution on you, to where, like, they were self-persecution. Like, they were literally, like, hating themselves. They were, like, having this annihilation hatred for themselves, but they were passing it and projecting it onto you, to the point where, like, you were wrongfully set up, and then you had to do time for this. And some of you who weren't in actual prison, some of you, it was the prison was like in your childhood home, to where, like, you had to go back there, and then they were like feeding off your energy, feeding off your pain, feeding off of failures that they put the obstacles and blocks and made and set you up for, to the point where, like, they were blocking you. They were blocking you from getting jobs. They were blocking you from, you know, getting your kids back. They were trying to wrongfully get you in trouble with the law, with the state, whatever the fuck they did. Okay. And then so, like, the divine, he sees all this, and now he's like, okay, this person went through generations of trauma. This person went through decades of trauma, generational trauma. They went through, you know, this person who was supposed to, like, they were supposed to love and trust and comfort. They were not there for them. You know, and I tested both of them. And then I saw this person with a pure heart and this person fighting for their lives. And then I saw the person in the position of power that I tested, and that person in a position of power failed greatly. Because that person, okay, literally took the crown off of this divine goddess or god and put it on their heads, or someone else with a wicked heart's head. And they indivinely, destiny swapped you, to where it was like your birthright, your divine birthright, was given to someone else because they had the power at the time. And the divine saw this. Like, he was like, and he was waiting. He was like watching it like a movie, to the point where he was testing them. And he was like, okay, so that's what your heart is. That's your intentions. Okay, I see everything. You know, I see your heart. I see your thoughts. I see your plots, plans, setups, whatever. I see what you did in the dark. And it always comes to the light. And I don't care what anyone says about Lucifer. You could talk shit on Lucifer all you want. He is not the devil. He literally helped me out the trenches. He helped me out the darkness. He helped me out of all of the spiritual attacks that the Christians, like the pits, the Christians fucking pushed me in, dude. Lucifer and Lilith were there for me, okay? And they were like, okay. Even Belial, they were like, you are not going to perish, because no, we don't do that. We don't do that. We are powerful beings. They lied on us in the Bible. They don't even tell the true story of Lilith in the Bible. In Genesis, they don't put Lilith in the Bible. They put her sister Eve in the Bible. I'll tell you about Lilith, okay? Lilith was Adam's first wife. She's not in Genesis in the Bible. Lilith came up and she was made from the clay of the earth, her equal, who was Adam. She didn't want to be subservient and listen and take all his orders. One day she was so tired, she was like, look, I don't want to lay beneath you. Can I just ride you really quick? And he was like, And then so she was casted out of Eden. And then out of the rib, God took Adam's rib and made her sister Eve. And then Eve was all like, okay, I'll lay beneath you. I'll do this. And this is what men like Adams want. To the point where like Lilith and Lucifer's are going to be stand up in their power, and they're not going to fold, and they're not going to play small for anybody. Okay? Because there really are two types of people in the world. There's Adams and Lucifer's. And then there's Eve's and Lilith's. And it's up to you of what, you are chosen to be. So, for that being said, I am going to do a base chakra cleansing. And I'm going to take my red jasper and I'm going to smooth out with some Reiki. And Reiki is not evil. This is energy work. I'm an energy healer. My great-grandmother Antonia, she's very much in my spiritual field right now, as well as my grandmother Clara. And they watch me. And Clara, my grandma, she was very, God, she was such a nurturer, to the point where, like, she tried to massage me. She was like, she had these nurturing gifts, and she's watched me through all of this. And then my great-grandma Antonia, who I personally never met, she has all of her medicine woman, like, I never picked up a herbal book, basically. So, like, to the point where, like, she was a midwife and a highly revered. Revering is higher than respect. That's what reverence means. So she was highly revered, to where she would be a midwife and a doula, okay? And so she would use plants, like plant medicine, whether in oils, tinctures, elixirs, to help women, pregnant women, postpartum, anything, deliver babies, and then, use, like, lavender, chamomile, roses, cinnamon stick. Like, she would use Mother Earth's healing properties, to the point where I have her gifts in me. And then my father in this life, after I forgave him for the abuse he did, he became one of my guardian angels, to where, like, his presence is always around me. And he'll be telling me, like, I don't want so-and-so in my house. Like, he's been telling me this for years, to the point where he even had me get a restraining order against one of them. But then, his wife, my mother, had their back, to the point where, like, I know my dad was telling me. I know his spirit was telling me he didn't want the Buchanans in his house. He didn't want them here. He still don't want them here. And at this point, I'm just like, Dad, there's nothing I can fucking do about this, because you should have just, left a will and had all of this ordered. But I don't know what happened with the will. My ex claims that there was money in an account, to the point where, like, it was kind of like it was supposed to be given and distributed, but it never was, to the point where, like, I know that if I was given that money, I could have bypassed all this abuse and gotten an apartment for me and my kids, and then had a 9-to-5, had a car. Because that's what family does, right? They help you. If they see you struggling, they don't let people abuse you. They protect you, right? So what happens when you don't have a family that protects you and they attack you instead? Exactly. So let's do some glass tap. It's not supposed to be like that, is it? Nope. So like I said, the divine sees everything. He sees it all. He let them attack for too long. To the point where at this point, he's putting his hand on this. And Lucifer's still his son. Lucifer still has powers. He does. He's an ancient god. He will come. He's not the devil. This is what men lie about. Like I said, they don't even mention Lilith in the book of Genesis. They don't mention her. You know what Google says about Lilith? They lie. They demonized Lilith and Lucifer. That she is she eats babies. This is a fucking lie. I have 4 kids, you guys. Lilith came to me. I had a baby, and I had literally my baby. Does not eat kids. She does not make your head spin around. That Hollywood conditioning, elite society, Illuminati bullshit, monarch, butterfly programming, Bohemian Grove, Freemason bullshit. It's all bullshit. This is what they want to hide from you guys. To the point where Lilith and Lucifer, they will be like, that's bullshit. I'm going to take you and I'm going to show you the truth, to the point where, and God knows Lucifer is very strong. That's his son. But for him to cast Lucifer out and burn his wings, that's very harsh, just because he was a jealous God. To the point where my own family exiled me, the way that the divine, God exiled Lucifer and Lilith from the heavens. I was exiled like that too. Okay, so I have some fallen angel wings. And then when they burned me, they burned my skin to the point where, like, I had angel wings right here. You guys, look on my community post. I have pictures of this. So it's like I got my wings back in that plaza, to where I had my fallen angel spiritual awakening back in 2021. But last year in the plaza, I got my wings back, because I'm really a mermaid, goddess, earth angel incarnate. I'm a spiritual warrior priestess, an earth angel. To the point where, like, my kids are all light. Okay, I have an earth angel son, I have a fairy daughter, I have a mer angel daughter, and then I have an elven angel son. To the point where me and my kids are light. Okay, and we're the truth. To the point where, like, we had a lot of wickedness happen to us, to the point where I'm not going to stop speaking on this. And they're going to be just, the more I try to be good and the more I try to speak on this, the more the wicked's going to come up in the mankind, the wicked-hearted ones. Because it's not the devil. It's mankind. It's what you harbor in your heart. This is men who do this to each other. It's hurt people hurting people. So I'm going to cut away a lot of just stress with my black tourmaline right here. And then they say shit about seers in the Bible, psychics in the Bible. It's all manipulation. Men wrote that. Oh, she does readings. She's the devil. I'm gonna stone her. Oh, she must be a witch. I'm gonna burn her at the stake. Oh, and it's just like, hello? And it's like, you look at these people like, dude, this is in your bloodline too. My great-grandma, you might as well call her a witch too. I mean, I get my gifts from her. And then you'd be like surprised, like, wow. It's just like, it's crazy. Hold on, you guys. So yeah, I'm just still very, I'm not even, I'm not even surprised anymore. I'm not even surprised. These people are about to be under divine judgment. He put his hand on it. God still knows Lucifer is his son. He knows he knows he has powers. He's God's son. To the point where if you were chosen by the light bearer, the light bringer, morning star, you're a very strong person. You're a very strong person, because it goes against everything that society is constructed and conditioned to believe, to where you stand out. You're very strong. If Lilith calls you, even if Hecate calls you, or Persephone calls you, or Athena, or Aphrodite, or Inanna, Belial, you're strong, okay? Because you're being called and chosen. You don't chase or choose this path. You're chosen. They choose you. You didn't choose this. You're a god, goddess incarnate, and they came for you. The people who literally believe the book. You guys, you know what the book is written by man? You know how many times men lie and they use their tongues to manipulate? And then they have the audacity to blame it on a devil and then say the devil is Satan and Lucifer and they're brothers, bro. They're not even the same person, like the same entity. Come on now. They demonized these entities that were like, They were actually the entities to show you to come into your birthright of power, your sovereignty, to stand up for yourself, not to play small, not to dim your light, to speak your truth, to be strong. And they literally came up against you like the Christians, bro. It's bullshit. So anyways, we are going to take my extrapolate, and I'm just going to be cutting, because they were playing behind your back. They were playing in your face. They were sucking your chi life force energy. And they still do it. They still do this shit. To the point where, like, my freaking twin flame is getting a divorce. He's going through a divorce. I saw it on people's faces that they started getting worried and upset. They wanted him to be with her, bro. They didn't even... It was so cruel. It was so wicked and so crooked. And I was like, wow. And I saw this the other day, and I was like, but she's, you know, they're divorcing now. She left him, and, like, these people wanted me to be, like, in the pit. They wanted me to be homeless. They wanted me to die. They wanted me to be in the ground, bro. And it'd be your own fucking people, bro. And my dad is, like, rolling over in his grave. And then my brother's, like, seeing all this, too. And then my great-grandma, my grandma, and my grandpa are, like, the fuck is wrong with it? Like, they're your blood. Like, wake up. And literally, these people can't see it. They're just, like, caught up in this mess of, like, they're hurting inside, or they're, like, sweeping things that hurt them under the rug, and they're being in denial or whatever they're doing. They're throwing themselves in religion and cults and just doing all this stuff, and then it's just like they're stuck in their ways to the point where it's like, wake up. Do you understand about the afterlife? Do you understand that you've built negative karma for yourselves in the afterlife, the rest of this life, and then a series of your next lives? You can't wake people up that don't want to be awake. You cannot wake people up that want to be asleep. We're scapegoats for a reason. We're chosen for a reason. We're otherworldly for a reason. They want to call us crazy, so be it. They want us to be villains, so be it. So let us be the villains in their story. They don't know. They're just too damn busy being asleep and going with the rest of the sheep. Can't take all of it with you when you die. You can't take your car or your bank account, your money. You can't take your house. You can't take nothing with you. So all this time that they've wasted in coveting your money, coveting your husband, your wife, or whatever, trying to set you up, they can't. They're under divine judgment now. The divine don't play when it comes to divine judgment. He don't fucking play. He'll watch you for a long time, and he'll study you, and he'll be like, okay. And then he'll put you through tests, and then he'll put people against you to test you, and then he'll literally test y'all, like, each other, to the point where, like, he sees everything. And I mean everything. To the point where, like, he'll put you, if you're a spiritual warrior priestess like me, you will have the hardest walk of life. But you will be so strong. You lose everything. You lose people, relationships. People will lose faith in you. They'll accuse you of things you didn't do. They'll put their wrongful, you know, just the wrong narrative on your whole life, to the point where, like, you'll be bound. You'll be literally, like, in a prison, to the point where, like, you wake up, you get busted open, and then you literally have to rebuild. But the divine sees who attacked you. He sees everything, every plot, plan against you, whether it's power of the tongue or manipulation, whether it's black magic. People are going to just always try to play God and demonize you and villainize you, and there's going to be nothing you can do about it. Nothing. And they're going to blame it on a devil. They're going to blame it on Lucifer or Satan. They're going to blame it on, you know, they're never going to take responsibility and accountability. What can you do with people like that? You can't do anything with people like that. They're just going to be stuck in their ways. They're going to keep being wicked. You know what they say, there's no rest for the wicked. So if you're an energy vampire, you don't rest. So, like, these two back here with me, they're energy vampires, and they don't rest. They be up all night, like, siphoning the energy, eating meat all the goddamn time, making bacon and steak, being loud on the phone, making messes, slamming doors. And it's like, god damn, like, you know what I mean? to the point you're just like, you get in your own world, like, you have to burn sage. You got to do a lot of shit. Okay, so you had to burn sage. And you know you're evil and wicked as fuck if you don't like sage. If you don't like sage, you're the real demon. Don't even try to pass it off on Lucifer and Lilith. It's the truth. You guys. Okay. Anyways, I'm open to Cash App donations. I'm not getting taxes this year because my baby dads have the kids. So please donate to me. I love you guys. Cash App, Mermaid Priestess 222. I am Sun Goddess Magic, Rose Empress Divine. Okay? I'm many things, but remember, I'm never what they said about me, and I'm never what you heard about me. I love you. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and I will be back with the next session shortly.